Welcome to the teaching ministry of David T. Demola. Open your heart to receive as Pastor Demola teaches the uncompromised Word of God.
This is what's going on in Paul's life. Stress, anxiety, almost feeling depressed. In other words, saying, I'm preaching this gospel and look at what happens to me. I got to meet up with some turkey named Demetrius in Ephesus, who stirs up the whole city against me and against the people that are with me, who tries to insult the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I have to feel like I've missed God somewhere. Can I tell everybody something in this room to set you at ease today? Just because you are tested and pressured and tempted, it does not mean that you have missed God. As a matter of fact, it could mean you are so close to your destiny that the devil is now really angry. I need a little help right now. You make up your mind to be a giver. Your battery goes dead, your wash machine breaks. Come on, talk to me a little bit. Your electric bill is double what it was last month. It seems like everything falls apart and the pressure gets intense. And then you've got some Christian brother or sister that sees you and say, what's going on, man? Can't you trust God? You want to slap him in the face. Sure, it's okay today for you to tell me that. I've watched you 6 months in that situation, and I never said a word to you. I know somebody's sitting here right now saying, is this faith fellowship? Yes, it is. You haven't heard the last of the message, so tighten your seatbelt and just be quiet while I give it to you. I don't live in a fake world. I live in a real world. I put my shoes and socks on like you do and my pants on just like you do. And we're all in the same boat. And anybody that's sitting next to you that tells you they've never had a problem, they really are born liars. Pressured to that point. Pressured to that point. Well, somebody said, well, I don't understand that. Well, then you better understand this. Turn to Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Beginning at verse 36. I know we're not shouting yet, but you will in a little while. Then cometh Jesus with them into a place called Gethsemane. How interesting. How many were here Thursday night? Did you hear me talk about the oil press? Yes. Gethsemane is called the oil press. Place where either your best or your worst is going to come out. Just in case you weren't here, I talked about how the olive on its own is not as valuable as when it is pressed. You can't get first cold pressed virgin olive oil like you and I like, Joe. Come on. And everybody's putting blue cheese and ranch dressing on their salad. Give me the olive oil. The only way you get first cold pressed olive oil is you've got to put the olive in the press and it's got to be crushed. Sometimes the greatest things that come out of your life is when the devil tries to crush you. He tries to destroy you, but what ends up happening is you get more saturated with fresh oil. Watch this. He said, sit here while I go and pray yonder. I don't know how we get all this southern stuff in King James, but. So he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, that's James and John, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Everybody say sorrowful. Now that's what your King James Bible reads. When you read other translations, they translate it in various different ways. But the best translation to me is the Amplified translation, where it says, he began to show grief and distress, and his mind was deeply depressed. Somebody said, this can't be Jesus, not the Jesus I know. Listen to me very carefully. Jesus has left behind the independent exercise of his divine attributes, and he is acting at this point as a 100% human being like you and I, because Jesus knew that he was now going to Calvary, he was going to be crucified, and the thought of what was coming had caused him to be deeply depressed. I know some people might have a hard time figuring out, this is Jesus? Yes, because Jesus had to suffer the things that we suffer so that he could understand what we go through.